Hello again. I'm going to teach you how to reverse the car into a bay. Okay. It's not the traditional way that driving instructors normally teach people to reverse the car into a bay. I'm going to show you on my whiteboard what I'm going to teach. It's the easiest way to teach this, and it's also what we do in the real world. Okay, so I just turn my whiteboard like this. What we're going to do is we're going to bring the car forward. We're going to be fairly close to these spaces, and let's say this is the space that we want. Okay, we're going to bring the car forward until you, the driver, your shoulder is lined up with the middle of the space that we want. The middle of the space. From there, what we're going to do is we're going to steer away from that space like that. And then we're going to reverse the car back towards that line, and then turn the wheels and bring it in.
Is that allowed?
It is allowed, yeah, it's absolutely allowed. So what we're going to do, number one, we're going to be not fairly close to the ends of these lines. We're going to bring the car forward so that you, the driver, your shoulder is lined up with the middle. Then, as we start steering away, you're going to see in this door mirror here, you're going to see that line there, that first one. We're going to ignore that. It's the second line that we're interested in. So we're going to keep going further forward with a left lock on the steering wheel like that until we see that line, and it's got to be lined up with the bodywork of our car. Alright? If you go too far, when you look in the door mirror, you will see that line, but you won't see the end of the line. It's important that we see the end of the line, so we're not going to go too far. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get our wheels straight. So we're going to straighten out our wheels, and we're going to look all around the car, and we're going to slowly reverse the car towards that line. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go back in just a little bit more, so it looks like the back of the car is slightly inside the space. And then we're going to put a left lock on the steering wheel, and it's going to go like that. When we are looking in both door mirrors, and you will see this line appear in the other door mirror, when it appears as though our car is parallel to the lines, then all we need to do is straighten up our wheels and bring the car back. And we know when we've gone back far enough because our door mirrors will appear to sit on the end of the line. So if you draw a line in your mind from the end of one line to another, to another, to another, in your mind, that line needs to be just underneath your door mirror, and you know you've gone back far enough. This method is easy, it's reliable, it is allowed on the driving test, and it's what we do in the real world. This will also teach you, well, you can link it to the parallel park, because you know when you are steering and we're becoming parallel to the curb, we're also becoming parallel to these lines as well. So once somebody gets good at your parallel park, they can use those skills here. Does that make sense? So what we're going to do, I'm going to show you what we're going to do in the car. So I'm going to line up my shoulder. I like to choose a space that I can easily identify. It might be that there's litter, like a can, or in this case we've got a dirty stain and we've got some weeds growing at the back by the curb. So I'm going to bring the car forward a little bit until about my shoulder is lined up there with the middle. That's about right. Before we start steering away from the curb, we need to have a good look all around the car, make sure it's clear to proceed. And then what we're going to do is we're going to briskly steer to the right. I've got that lock on. I can see now that the first line is coming up. There's the first line. See at the back of the car, the first line. And we're going to go further forward towards these lines over here in front, and I want to see the second line. There it is. Now look, watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a mistake now. If I come too far forward, watch, you can't see the end of the line. That's too much. So we're going to let the car roll back a little bit. Until we can see the end of the line. There it is. Yeah?
Yeah.
There. We're going to select reverse gear and we're going to make sure our wheels are straight. So all the hard work is done going forwards, okay? We're checking all around. It's not enough just to check once, we have to check a lot. You'll see your pupils will not check around enough. We're going to slowly let the car go back, and about every few 2, 3, 4 seconds, just a little look around, turn the wheel half a turn on the steering wheel to the left, okay, to begin with. I can see in this door mirror over on this side, I can see the line appearing, so I know we're good. Can you see it from your side?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, you can see that. So I'm not going to steer too much. I'm going to steer a little bit more now, another half a turn. Maybe I'll lock it up now. And all we're going to do is just keep looking around. If I steer right, we send the back of the car that way. If I steer left more, we send the car that way a little bit more. But we can just play around with the steering a little bit. It looks like the wheels are parallel, the car is parallel to the curb. Now I can bring the wheels straight, another check behind me, and I'm just letting the car come back until it appears as though my door mirrors are sitting on top of the line, like that.
Okay.
All good?
Yeah, can we do it again?
Yeah, of course we can.
Do we not start, like, we're going further, do we not enter those bay?
No, on the driving test, the examiner won't mind if you do that. They won't particularly mind if you are taking advantage of space. So let's say I messed up my manoeuvre and I'm not happy, I'm on my line on this side. He won't care if you just think, right, let's go straight forward into this bay, because I know that this bay is perfectly aligned with the bay behind. Then you can check your door mirrors and think, yes, all I've got to do is go back in a straight line. I've got a little bit more space on this side, so I'll just cover this stalk, checking around of course. I'll cover this stalk and send the back of the car that way, just a pinch, and then I'll cover up the other stalk to make it straight, and then straighten up the wheels, and then back we go. And that is perfectly acceptable as well. Alright, what we're going to do in a minute, I'll do this again for you, and then you can take some photographs of what the student will see.
Okay.
I've even got my drone with me today, so I could even send the drone up in the sky and it can watch us as we do this. But I'm just looking at the time. I know you said you've got to get away, but we could do this on another occasion if you want to. I've got the drone, if that helps you, because it all helps in a different way, doesn't it? So let's choose another space. Alright, shall we have this space here?
Sorry, I'm just trying to... Okay, now I can take a picture. Okay?
So I'll tell you what, let's bring the car back so that we have the same space as before. We want a space that we can recognise so that we know that we're successful.
Yeah.
So we'll have that space with the dirty mark at the back. Alright? So I'm going to line my shoulder up approximately with the middle of the space. So if you can take a photograph of that, what we're seeing now. Line the shoulder up with the middle of that space. Okay?
In the middle. That's where the grass is.
There you go.
Yeah.
Then what we're going to do, we're going to steer away with a full right lock.
Okay.
After we've checked all around.
Yeah, full right lock. Okay.
Yeah. Now, when we look in that door mirror, see the, can you see the mirror at the top?
Yeah, the top one.
Yeah, that's the first line. We're going to ignore that one.
Okay.
We're going to come to the next line. That'll be the second line. We're coming up.
Okay, yeah,
coming up.
the second
Can you
line.
see it?
Yeah.
And it's about there. That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
Okay.
If I go too far, watch what happens. If I go too far, you can't see the end of the line.
No.
Too much. So I'm just letting the car come back a bit.
Okay.
That's about right. Okay. And now I'm going to get my wheels straight. All the hard work is done going forwards. We've checked all around. We're going to let the car come back really slowly.
Yeah.
And we're going to steer about half a turn on the steering wheel to the left.
Okay.
So that the car is heading in generally the correct direction. Yeah. I might steer another half a turn on the steering wheel. The gap on the left is closing. The gap on the right is getting bigger.
Yeah.
And we're just letting the car move really slowly. We're glancing in that mirror, we're glancing in that mirror, and we're glancing behind us to make sure it's clear. I'm looking at the space in front and it looks like we're straight.
Yeah.
Now all I need to do is come off the brake again, straighten up my wheels and bring the car back, and boom.
Onto the mirror, rest on the line.
Yeah, so when you look at our mirror now, our door mirrors, it looks like the bottom of the mirror is sitting on top of the line.
Yeah.
How's that?
Sound good.